Hello, everyone. I am Zelius, joined here by Daisy and Mr. Prezi, and today we will be watching the smackdown between Ground Zero Gaming and Bill Withers Toyota dealership. And this is a pretty important series tonight because I believe it's a huge factor for the playoff race. I think a 2-0 here guarantees Bill Withers' ability for playoffs. And I believe Ground Zero Gaming are already in playoffs, but it'll affect their seeding.
Yep,
Uh,
Ground Zero Gaming's got 6 points right now. They're sitting at third place.
is this on
Uh,
your private channel, Chris?
No, it's on the LVLCS.
It still says we're offline. Oh, just kidding. I guess my internet's poo poo.
it's got a delay.
Sorry.
Are in fact live. Oh, I put
Okay.
Discord
I'm
in on my
sorry.
screen. I forgot. My apologies.
We're low budget. We're low budget. It's okay.
Oh, you're hiding. You're showing all the locked channels. No.
We're low budget.
But
No.
what were you saying about the placing, Mr. Prezi? You're
So
hiding. You're
Ground
showing
Zero
all the
Gaming
locked
right now is
channels.
sitting
No.
at six
But
points
what
in
were you
third
saying about the
place.
placing,
So they're right on
Mr.
the
Prezi?
cusp of potentially getting that bye, depending on how their previous games went against Gold Diggers, who's sitting at 8, currently in second, and Bill Withers. Actually, I don't believe this is updated because it still says they only have 5 games played. But it says they're at 3 points, and they're sitting in seventh place, out of playoffs currently.
It sounds like they still have a chance of making playoffs.
Yeah, they definitely can make playoffs. Bugleberry made that out a point to tell me.
All right.
I don't know. That's gonna be hard though, because I think Ground Zero Gaming is probably the best executive team in my opinion.
I think that might be Frank's Little Beauties, but I don't think Ground Zero
I
Gaming's
think
far
Frank's
behind.
Little Beauty's mid is far too weak.
Ground Zero Gaming's the best. Why aren't they in first
Here's
place
what
right
I'll
now?
say. I think overall, Frank's Little Beauties is better team, but I think they do stuff that I think they bite off more than they can chew, right? Ground Zero Gaming just goes for the wombo comps. They're not afraid to draft like Galio Misfortune, Galio Varus, whatever. Anything to just 5-man global comp, right? Like they're down for that. It's pretty
Mm-hmm.
easy to execute on. Like it's not like you have range limitations. Whereas I find Frank's Little Beauties will go for like some sick 1-3-1 strats, and then just one person gets caught in the side lane and it's just done for you.
Mm-hmm. I think just what we've seen going off of the 3 different leagues is CEO and economy has been more of a game soup going on. A bunch of teams beating everyone else. Executive League is actually probably the most stratified league just from what we've seen. So it'd be really interesting if Bill Withers can, someone near the bottom of the ranking can take on Ground Zero Gaming.
And one thing I would like to
I
note
agree.
is that on this pro draft, they are actually on the wrong side. So
Oh,
Ground Zero Gaming is listed on Pro Draft as their. You know what? We're just gonna fix this right now. Actually, I'm gonna save you guys some confusion.
He's gonna pull out the draw board.
All right, there we go. It's as if there's nothing wrong. Okay, they're on the right side now. Hopefully, we'll be getting kicked up in a second. Oh wait, I lied. That never mind. I'm
no.
gonna refresh. They're actually on the right side. Forget anything I said. They have the right sides.
I do like that we have the possibility of changing that, though. I'm glad that you have some programming expertise. I know we had a hacker in the LBLCS.
NDA. Regardless, my apologies for the confusion, chat. It's my first day on the job in a little while. You know,
Look
I
at all
think
these guys from those two teams in chat over here. Get out of here, cheaters. We're watching you.
yeah, it's a 3-minute delay, so any ghosting is not only not punishable, but it's not going to give you any help either.
It's very punishable. Don't let me catch you doing it. How dare you know they're gold 3 minutes ago?
Evo saying ban Amumu, which is in fact Ground Zero Gaming's jungler. And if I saw that, I would be quaking, and I think the first thing I would do personally is probably not ban Amumu, because there is a reason that there is no Amumu players in Challenger, but there's at least a player of every other champ in Challenger, okay? But no Amumu players.
But you
I
gotta
don't know,
remember,
dude. I think that's mental warfare. He's trying to get that reaction out of you to not ban it.
this also isn't Challenger. Yeah, you might be like, oh, this champion's not good once you get to the really top level. This
It is
isn't
a
very top
horrible
level.
champ. I think it's the worst champ in the game. But if you get really good at the worst champ in the game and no one knows how to face it, then you just have that upper hand on them because they're sleeping on that OP pick, that hidden tech.
We'll say, you ever see Tyler 1 on Ivern? Who would have thought? Who would have thought he would be killing on Ivern?
For real. Yeah, that's actually like everyone always called that like a super dog champ.
You
Yep.
know, though.
Maybe Evo's just the next Tyler 1 and we don't
Give
know
it
it
5
yet.
months, though, and I'm sure we'll find out that Tarzan was playing on his account.
And everyone knows the
Oh,
only dog
yikes.
champ is Nasus.
The only
OG
dog champ.
dog champ.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for this pro draft to kick
Warwick.
off, how's Economy League going, Prezi?
Economy League is going great. I'm on the Happy Canadians, and we just picked up our first full W and breaking the 1-1 curse. I
Congrats.
did the math, and it is still theoretically possible that we could get placed second. Now it is very slim, statistically, 100% possible.
I'm rooting for you guys.
All we need is wait. I game this out. Where is it? We are going up against Pace Tasters. We got a 2-0.
Just win that.
2-0. Yeah,
easy.
we got a 2-0 Pace Tasters. Clown9 currently in first. That's a 2-0 Doug D, also possible. And then you get into we need the miracle runs. We need the teams that are already out of playoffs who mathematically can't make playoffs to 2-0 both of their games. So we need Silver Drillers to 2-0 My Nono Square and Glacial Tundra to 2-0 Bonobo Boys. And if all four of those things happen, the Happy Canadians will get placed second. You gotta keep the
They
dream
only actually correction to what you were saying. They only have to 1-1 then. Because you'll be. Oh wait, never mind. You're right.
Then we'd have to
I
get
thought you were at 7 points. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
So without tiebreakers, we'd have to, they could 1-1.
Dang.
Is it gonna happen? Probably not. Am I rooting for it? You betcha.
You guys got this.
Yeah.
Oh, ignore the Discord real quick. Ignore the streaming chat.
This dude has like 1 billion messages on his Discord.
Oh, it's alright. Stream owner still doesn't give. Yeah, this is THC versus Doug Dibidone. You know what? Let's nix this game. Let's just replay that game. That was a great game.
Yeah. They're still missing someone after 16 minutes. That's why we haven't started for anyone that cared. Ultwafosilo? Rip. Isn't that the guy who owns G2? Ultwafosilo?
What?
I think you're thinking of Ocelot.
Awesome.
It's the same guy, confirmed.
Isn't
It's
that
definitely him on his Smurf account, his Smurf Twitch.
isn't
He's
that a
gonna start
character in
investing
Metal
in the
Gear?
league.
Ocelot?
I've
Revolver
never played
Ocelot.
Metal Gear.
No,
Me
you're
neither. I
thinking
just know it
of,
from
might
the memes.
You're thinking of
Snake.
Yes.
Solid
Solid
Snake.
But I can
Snake.
understand the confusion.
Ocelot does sound like Snake. Demonic Zombra. Sombra. I'm kind of offended that you have a name from Overwatch. Because I think that's like actually the most overrated game ever to be made. No Flame, not targeting you as a person, just the name.
Not
Demonic.
targeting my high elo gameplay in the shooter video game featuring Ultimates Overwatch.
Bank says it's almost 10 here. Where is he? Like Nova Scotia? Is he playing on a cruise ship off the East Coast?
Almost 10 here? Wait a second. Hold up. I'm confused
genuinely
now.
confused.
I think he's playing from like
Wait, yeah, he could be or Nova
Iceland.
Scotia. No,
Iceland,
Nova
Greenland?
Scotia. Nova Scotia is about an hour and a half ahead. Oh, New Brunswick. That's
and a
really
half.
close.
Since when did they start doing a half-hour time
Brunswick?
zones?
No.
No one tells me anything.
He said it's almost 10, so he's 2 hours ahead of us now. But that
no,
would be
an
yeah.
hour,
That's
an hour
like
ahead of
is-
us. Yeah. So
He's
basically,
1 hour.
Fun fact though,
well, 1 hour ahead of you guys.
he's neighboring. Okay, so we have a province called Newfoundland. And you
Yes.
see, that is, I believe that's the only place in the world that has a time zone differential of half an hour. They are minus 2.5 GMT, or yeah, minus 2.5 GMT, I believe.
What does GMT stand for?
Greater Mountain Time.
Greater Mountain.
And also, I believe it's pronounced Newfoundland, but good try.
Newfoundland. That's
No,
actually a
see,
dog breed,
as a
also.
Canadian, though, this is how we say it. And you're now
Newfoundland?
discriminating against me for my accent, which is
I'm-
also illegal.
I'm on the Happy Canadians. How can I be discriminatory? It's not like I'm from Quebec.
Yeah, your team's not even Canadian
s-
themed,
you
while
can't
ours
even-
are. You're not even a real
You're
Canadian.
gonna call it Newfoundland and then say Quebec like that?
Quebec.
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 Yes.
Quebec.
Newfoundland is a
Not
myth. It's a
Quebec,
government
it's
conspiracy.
Quebec.
I'll have you know, we're Canadian in our hearts. It's
But
full
Rhode
of.
Island in our births. All right.
Are you guys from Canada? And the Happy Canadians?
We're the Happy Canadians in our hearts. That's all that matters.
No, you're not from
Where are
Canada.
you actually from?
You trying to get me DDoSed here?
New York.
New
No,
England.
not
I'll
that.
keep
New
it
York?
vague.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I was just asking like general country. Like, you don't have to say, you live in freaking St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, if it's just a general country, I would have said Sudan. But sure, yeah.
Okay.
Or what about Pakistan or Chad?
All right, guys. Quebec. Let's start putting all of our addresses in chat.
Yep.
See, if that did not get me in trouble with the admins, I would. And it looks like we might finally be getting into. Evan just gave his address in chat, and I can't remove other mods' messages.
Memorial. Is that?
I
Is,
do, in
is that
fact.
just?
No, that is Evan's address.
Jesus Christ.
And I personally, I do not have permissions to delete mods.
How do I delete?
I'll start sending my
All right, we're
address.
finally into Pro Draft. I'd like to see the Galio ban coming up from Bill Withers. They're not going to play it, so they should get rid of it.
If they don't ban a Moo, they're trolling also.
So I haven't been watching these two teams. How do these two teams win out of which lanes and
All right,
generally
so Bill
how
Withers, their top laner, is the Giga Chad, Kled One Trick, Beast Man. I duo with him on my Smurf. We have 10 games played on it, and I think his worst record is like 4-2, and that was because the game only lasted like 8 minutes. So he's the biggest Chad top and executive. He also has
You
a
see.
monster mad lane mid now, Chibi Dragon. I believe he's Platinum 1 right now, so very, very high elo for executive, near the cutoff point. I played against him a lot last season. He has kicked my rear end in more than a few times. So overall, very serviceable mid. Chungus Karen, the old mid laner, role swapped ADC. He's not bad, but he's definitely still learning the ways of the role. They have Dog Hugger, he's a pretty good support. Nothing, I wouldn't say anything personally too exceptional, but nothing that either draws him back to say he's not good either. And their jungler's example, he's not a coin flip, but he has very high highs and some low lows. So as long as the other lanes are relatively sturdy, he's a force to be reckoned with. And Ground Zero Gaming, I'm a personal fan of Lyrinox, the support. He finds a way to be everywhere and nowhere all at once. He can gank mid and bot at the same time. He'll flank his own lane. It's just insane.
I think Ground Zero Gaming is honestly like the biggest sleeper in executive. Like everyone else, like at least for Sensei Randall's and Gold
Dog
Diggers
Hugger
and Frank's Little Beauties.
says that Aphelios pick was actually Syndra.
No,
Or
I believe
does
that
he?
no,
Or
the
the
Taric
Taric.
pick is actually Syndra.
Taric pick was Syndra.
Tarek
Okay.
pick is Syndra.
Correct.
Oh.
Yep. Also, Evdingus, thank you for the 2 bits. We greatly appreciate it. You're now the majority shareholder of LBLCS. We'll see you at the next Wendy's meeting.
So I'm being told that I'm super quiet, and I'd like to know if this is any better.
That's very good. It's like ASMR.
Well, I don't know if you'll be able to hear the difference. The difference would be on stream. Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I'm being told that from Dog Hugger that it's a Syndra pick, but then they locked in Taric Senna. But the Taric's supposed to be Syndra. But I'm wondering.
Okay, they are
Taric
confirming
equals-
Taric
Taric
equals Syndra. Okay, yeah. And then they locked in Senna, which I'm not too sure about because they could have just went Taric Senna anyways, and then they could just lock in Syndra now. But that's just my opinion. They can draft what
That
they
would
want.
make too much sense.
Now they locked in Orianna. So now they have a
Okay.
fasting set. So I'm assuming Dog Hugger's gonna play fasting Senna, and then Chungus Karen is gonna go farming Syndra bot lane with the Senna, and then they have an Orianna mid for Chibi Dragon. Ground
I
Zero
don't-
Gaming grabbing 200 years of design experience, along with another added 200 years of design experience with hotfix buffs. And the Braum pick is pretty nice into this team comp. So kudos to Ground Zero Gaming for just be willing to pick the man with the stash.
I think it's only considered fasting Senna if it's with the melee champ.
I think fasting Senna is just whenever the Senna is not
Senna
farming.
support. Senna support. Then what? I mean, why not just call it Senna support?
Because it's not Senna support, it's fasting Senna.
If
Oh,
they're not
fasting Senna.
farming, fasting
No.
Senna is when you have like a melee champ,
Well, it's just
like an
fasting
actual
Senna is just
support.
when she's not
Support
farming.
that's
though.
farming. A support that's farming. Syndra's not a support.
All right,
for
I
most
will need
people.
to know if this audio is better, but Set's not really a support either. I mean, like, you can take him support, but it's just like a...
Everyone knows fasting Senna
The
is where
idea-
you rush
okay.
boots first. Because you're
Yeah.
fast.
Fasting Senna's with a support that farms. I think it's just with a non-AD, though, really. Because, like, you're still fasting, technically, as Senna.
Yeah, but Syndra's an APC, which is pretty much an ADC, but does AP damage.
Well, yeah, but then, like, Senna actually gets to do
But
stuff
she's not
when you have the
fasting.
AP
She's Senna
damage.
support.
No, I think she's fasting.
It's just Senna support. Yeah, see,
Because you
Julie agrees with
you
me.
can go Syndra support.
I have and I do often. I think it's super strong, but I don't think that's what
Exactly,
they're
so
doing.
Syndra's the support. If the Senna's
I
not
think that's a
farming,
very
if
off.
the Senna's not farming and she's not with an ADC, then it's fasting Senna.
That
Trust
is a
me,
very off meta pick.
my,
But I play.
My
just about any-
grandpa founded Riot Games. All
Your
right.
grandpa was Mr. Tencent?
Yes, he was Mr. John Jing Tencent himself.
Mr.
John
Jinping.
James.
Mr. Jinping.
I don't think they can pull fasting Senna off. Commander Cruz and
We'll
Seven
see.
Shepherd. Let's hope they can, or let's hope they can't. Depends what team you're rooting for.
You don't think? Okay, Commander Cruz. Why don't you think they can pull it off?
Maybe because he doesn't think they're fasting. That's why they can't pull it off. You know what? Commander Cruz is the only actual ADC main right now, speaking. So we will ask him whether he thinks that Syndra with Senna is fasting or support.
He's also in executive league, being the highest ranking player in there, I think. Of course, because
All right, drafting is finished.
GZG
Ground Zero Gaming is considered they're ready. And I actually really like the comp from Ground Zero Gaming here, but I think Bill Withers is pretty easy to execute on. I'm not a huge fan of the Wukong jungle. I think he gives the Wukong or like a carry to the top laner who is... Well, actually, you have your best player going up against the Diamond 3, though, so I think tank duty is actually fair.
But isn't their Diamond 3 a support main?
You're right. He does have the Flays tag, which probably means he's a Thresh main. And if you do like the support calculations, that's like a plat 4 top laner without actually considering that they know the game. Mobron saying that's support.
Malphite support? Syndra top?
No, Mobron saying it's support if it's with a Syndra. Everybody's disagreeing with me here, but I just think if you're
Yeah,
not
exactly.
farming, it's
Well,
fasting.
you're probably just wrong then.
Well, I don't know if I'm wrong. I think it's just diction, choice of word.
Your choice of words is wrong.
Your choice of words is wrong. All right, we're gonna switch it back over to the League of Legends video game itself.
How does Wukong jungle into New Volibear?
Not great, probably. I mean, Volibear's sitting
Does
at
anything do well into New Volibear?
Sitting at a very
banning.
healthy win rate right now.
Yeah.
If it's Sona Senna, it's Fast and Senna. That's true, but Sona's an actual support. Syndra isn't an actual support, but can be played support if you're, a Chad like me. True support Senna builds differently.
Alright, so they're speedrunning the draft, which is respectable because the game is starting 30 minutes after the initial start date.
Depends on who's going to be doing damage. For like melee farming. Yeah, that's what I think is the melee farming is what makes it fasting, especially when it's like like Tom Kench, Tarek, Set, Maokai. I've seen.
I feel though, okay. Commander Crew says true support Senna builds differently.
I don't think so.
Because it's like, okay, if they go the grass build with Frozen Mallet and stuff, then they're fast. If
No
they just
way.
go like the standard
That's
build,
just
then
meta.
they're support.
That's just meta at this point, though, because that's so much better than literally any other option for her.
Yeah, for self peel, not for being a teammate.
Ban Amumu.
Banksy says he's gonna ban Amumu, and I want to hold him to that.
Who's? Oh, never mind.
Banksy is Banks, I believe. The Mordecai. He did it. The madman himself.
Alright, I'm going.
Alright. Who do you guys have going for the win here?
You know what? I'm gonna call the upset. I think it's gonna be Bill Withers. They have the easier to execute team comp. They have a huge wombo that can easily blow up the carries. I think Bill Withers is gonna come out on top in this first game.
I disagree. I think it's going to be Ground Zero Gaming. I think Braum is a huge sleeper champ. I think Volibear is too OP right now. I think Mordekaiser is too strong, too easy to play. And then, I mean, Corki Aphelios, like, unless they can close the game out soon, then those two champs are just going to be raid bosses unless they get one shot.
That's pretty much how I'm looking at the game as well. I'm seeing the Corki and the Aphelios, and I'm looking at the side of Bill Withers, and I'm thinking, how do the Corki and Aphelios fall really far behind? Now, Syndra is an amazing lane bully bot lane. She's broken bot lane if you have like a Nautilus, but like, how are you pulling the, like, how are you getting the Aphelios to the Syndra?
Well, I think Senna's a good matchup in a Braum, but you still have very little kill pressure unless you just poke them out and they stay too long. Or Wukong has some like amazing god tier ganks.
I will say, be really interesting watching this mid lane because you have two lane bullies. Obviously, you have Tokelife, who's a very good player. I think he's played Corki before. It's gonna be interesting to see which lanes that the junglers focus their prio on.
That will be. I will look up to see if he played Corki before and how he did. He plays a lot of scaling mid laners.
Makes sense. When you're just generally a higher level player than the other players you're against, you can win the early game on champions that don't scale well, but if you make it to the late game and you're on skilling champions, there's no reason you should be losing.
Yeah. The only game I see Tokelife being Corki on, he went 9-3 and 8 against Glacial or Gold Diggers in a Nico matchup.
Well,
Gold Diggers, good team. Gold Diggers are currently ranked second.
Oh, I found another one, 8-1-7 in the other one against Glacial Galaxy.
the other thing to keep in mind is he's not going to have to worry too much about dying against Orianna Wukong because Wukong isn't going to be able to do too much before 6, and Orianna can be oppressive, but Corki's a pretty safe guy.
I agree. I think honestly, if Ground Zero Gaming loses this game, it's because they played just not
Awful.
smart,
I
awful.
agree.
Like, I think as easy as it is to say like Malphite press R, Orianna press R, but like even at that, that's all they have. It's not like they outscale, and it's not like they have a stronger early game even.
No,
Like they
put
don't
some
have a single.
MR. Put some MR, maybe a Hex Drinker onto the Corki, and he's pretty safe. He can just play back for the Wukong.
Yeah,
And
same thing with the
just
Philios, and they have Braum to protect him from too much poke.
and going back on Volibear's healthy win rate, he's sitting at in the jungle 53%.
That's pretty healthy.
That is pretty healthy. That's what old Volibear was sitting at for like the longest time, and they never changed him.
Well, granted, that was like 2 players, so
True. Up until people started looking at that and started seeing that as OP, and then
And
they
chat
did what
for
everyone
those
does.
for those who do not quite understand the healthy win rate joke, a good win rate is anywhere from 48 to 52. So anything above that is where it starts, getting a little out of hand in power. But I duo queue with my good friend Julie from Bakugan, who happens to be a Volibear abuser. So for the sake of my LP, I love the Volibear rework.
sounds like it's a drug. Yeah, he's a Volibear user.
And
I think it
we
is so
are
much fun to play
finally
again.
getting into game. And I
I've never
actually
been more
have
satisfied playing against someone else.
titles on the wrong side, so I will fix that right now. I apologize.
Oh,
Please
you know,
don't fire me.
Can I change my pick solely for that Corki skin? I have never seen that Corki skin before, and it is beautiful.
Is it the Corgi one? I didn't quite catch
It
it.
is. It's the Corgi.
All right, we'll see it in game.
Man, this is actually going to be harder than I thought because I didn't realize how many skins Bill Withers had. They have a lot more skins than Ground Zero Gaming.
And there's the patented LBLCS 3-second pause in. We'll see what it's for. I type in chat. Something about the top lane for Bill Withers.
Idiot jungle, lol. Top, sorry. So there, who I referred to earlier is the Giga Chad carry. Our Bill Withers ADC referred to him as an idiot. So maybe some internal conflicts between the team. Ryan YZH wants to know why Daisy is so hot.
I don't know, man. You're making me blush on stream. Come on, dude.
And we might be seeing a cheeky invade coming out here from Ground Zero Gaming.
They're actually both invading each other from opposite ways.
Yeah. So I really hope one.
They walked over a ward,
Senna's
though.
walking back.
Oh, they walked over a ward. They know they're there.
Yep. Looks like they're just getting vision and backing off. Smart choice on the side of Ground Zero Gaming.
Smart man Braum walking out that way.
I wouldn't say it's a smart man.
So overall, really good invade from Ground Zero Gaming. They got very good vision around. They know where the Wukong's going.
Yeah. At that point, I feel like that's almost a little too much vision.
I think
It's a lot
is,
of
'cause-
wasted wards.
Yeah, now all of your lanes have to wait for the wards to come off cooldown.
Yeah.
Can y'all
That's a big
turn
difference.
nameplates on? You know what? For you, I can do that. I apologize. I don't like the eye clutter. You know what? I'll up the graphics as well. Just ignore the quick pause here. Graphics will be maxed now. Everything will look beautiful just for you. I'm
Is-
sorry, Zeb.
Quality control on the fly.
Is press the attack Volibear what they're supposed to go? Is that just the standard or?
I believe Julie tried it again. He's our resident,
Volibear expert.
Volibear expert, and he wasn't a huge fan of it, but he also didn't mention it as it was terrible. He just wasn't a fan of it compared to Predator and Conqueror, I believe. Nice W coming up from Dog Hugger and some pretty good poke going on to the nub. He gets taken down to half, but looks like Brahm's gonna lock Syndra up, but not much happens from it. And there's actually lots of action going on in the bot lane, and GZG, the nub, is getting really low.
Volibear.
But
Oh,
Evo ganks
man.
and Chungus Karen has to flash out. Will he die? It looks like he might go down, but Senna actually picking up first blood. Dog Hugger backs up, the nub goes down. First blood going over to Bill Withers' Toyota dealership. Just the start they need to be able to win this game.
Yeah, it was a really good reaction. They were out when the Volibear came in, but they're still able to pick up that early kill, which is going to really help them because they need to be able to push this advantage early on.
But Evo not giving up on the ganks. Instantly he's mid. Ori has to burn flash. Chibi Dragon pretty low. Flashless. Now Volibear. Evo has 2 ganks to gank. 2 lanes to gank. He can do whatever he wants now. He's got 5 minutes to gank either lane.
But you can get a little scuffle over the Scuttle Crab.
Chibi Dragon walking up though, for example. Example does get it. Evo is quite low. He's running away. Example's charging after him with Chibi Dragon. Example gets the kill on Evo, and this is a good start for Bill Withers. 2-0 for Bill Withers at 3 minutes. They are saying, look, we're in this playoffs race. We want to make it. We are going to make it. And they're trying everything they can to make it. And that is a beautiful Malphite skin, I must say. It's just enjoyable to look at. So is the Mordekaiser skin. I like the theme going up on the top lane.
Yeah, they match very well.
Looks like we're going back to farming now, so. What is your guys' opinion on Syndra bot?
Syndra bot. I think it's actually so strong. I'm mad that more people don't play it and that it's not like meta, quote unquote. Because it's like played enough to be almost considered meta, but it's not really meta. It's in that awkward state.
Yeah, I think
But-
it's broken, but like only with I think it's more broken when you have like Nautilus or Leona, less so.
Yeah, for sure. You just have so much kill pressure early, especially on so many ADCs.
But she's very strong in the laning phase. You do have to play your mid game a little bit smarter because you obviously don't have the range and siege that like a normal ADC would. But laning phase, she's very impressive if you play her right.
Yeah.
Syndra set sick bot duo from Pitto Live, which I believe is the mid laner for better mental.
Yeah,
and
that
captain.
is the, Syndra said. I'll keep that in mind when I play you guys tonight, Pitto. See if we pull that out.
You have
Try
a
it
game
out.
tonight, Daisy?
We're scrimming them tonight.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He's showing me the hidden tech to use against him.
Understandable. Now, I'm not too sure that I like the fact that Bill Withers is slowed down.
Yeah, I don't like that either. They needed to get those kills, and they needed to step on the gas pedal and push this game. Now that you have Wukong being super strong early.
Yeah, I didn't know that Wukong could even fight Volibear, but once I saw that scrap on like top half of the map, like I want the Wukong to be in their jungle now.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was Volibear was borderline trolling right there because he just walked up without pressure to try to steal his scuttle away, and he had like no mid lane presence, and so he couldn't even stand to fight Wukong. He just had to turn and run and get ran down.
Fair enough, but again though, without Conqueror, like I think that Wukong can just burst him, and then if he clones at a proper time, like maybe it's more winnable than I thought in the 1v1.
Yeah.
And especially just being ahead in general now after that, like pressure to lead. He's
Yeah, he's
again
got
if,
his
like if this Corki
item.
never dies, he's just such a broken champ.
Yeah, but if all the champions are broken, none of the champions are broken.
No. It's Volibear, Corki, and Syndra. Those are the broken champs.
Yeah. Mordekaiser, I mean,
Mordekaiser's up there. Mordekaiser's on like that thin ice. Like you're
if
not
you
gonna
play
see
him right, like
Yeah.
if you like big brain fights and like ult their jungle when he's trying to smite dragon or something, then like I feel like that champ is just so strong
Yeah.
for specific situations like that, or
Yeah,
like
like-
taking one specific guy.
You're
yeah,
not
take
going
their
to see
carry
any
out,
Re-
and the rest of your team deals damage.
you're not going to see any Reddit posts about Mordekaiser, but like he's going to be in a lot of games as well.
Mm-hmm. Given that blue over, what a generous jungle.
Well, Zorion is going to have to need it to stay in lane against Hope Life on this Corki. He's obviously got the tier. He's going to have near infinite mana to be able to harass and CS.
Yeah.
I actually
I really
prefer
enjoy-
going the pickaxe on Corki first, just so you don't give up all lane pressure, but it appears that he's not really getting pressured, so maybe just getting the early tier stacking is fine.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's keeping the wave pushed up, you know, so he's in a safer position. And we've already seen Volibear come mid once, so I think he's just positioning himself knowing, like, hey, I'm not going to get any kills unless Volibear comes, and I'm not going to get killed because I'm going to smartly position the waves.
Yeah. I really like watching this pillow fight top lane.
We do see the first dragon going over to Bill Withers.
Which is a good swing of momentum. I think Soul is always a win condition, no matter how bad your team comp is. If you can find a way to get Soul, you have decent scaling for
I
certain
can
things.
imagine a team comp where Soul doesn't help.
Well, it also depends what Soul you get.
Yeah.
I think in a situation where you have like an Elise top, an Udyr mid, an Italy jungle, a Jace ADC or whatever, and you get Cloud Soul, okay, maybe not, but on the grand scheme of things,
Yeah, I mean, just the raw stats you get from it.
Soul
pretty
is
nice.
typically a win condition.
Yeah. Because usually people that get souls are generally the team that grabs, like, you know, early Drakes also. And so they're not just getting the soul stats, they're also getting, like, Ocean Drake right now. And if they get Infernal, they get that bonus ability damage.
Well, let me rephrase that. It's Soul, if you can get it free or mostly free along the way, yeah, that's pretty much a free win. If at the same time the other team's contesting and you're losing 2, 3, 4 people every time you take a dragon, and then they can use, you know, they have somewhat of a brain cell and they're able to take any objective afterwards, then it probably isn't that good of a win condition.
Yeah.
Looks like they might want to set up a dive top, but I'm not sure. Banks ease back Tarded, and then Evo's actually just popping Rift, so never mind. I actually don't like this play at all. You get 2 plates and not much more. Maybe 3 plates. I'm pretty sure Tarded can just TP back up top anyways. Wukong's there
Yeah, they're
following
looking
up
to
Senna.
fight.
And
They're sending 3 people up.
it's better to just push by hand until the 2 plates, because obviously, as you guys know, you get resistances. Or
Mhm.
the plates get resistances the less plates you have. So players can burn down the first 3 plates quicker than they can burn down the last one itself. But Rift Herald does 2 plates of true damage. So if you can get it down to 2 plates and then pop Rift, you save that much time, you get the turret down earlier, you get more gold ultimately, and it's just a better play to make. But it
Nice.
looks like they are happy to just try to wince their lead back. It did help Mordekaiser back for Leandris, so there's always
Yeah, that's
method
a
to the
pretty
madness.
That's a hefty CS lead top lane.
Oh yeah, especially with those 2 plates, that gold lead on that Mord is going to be pretty big.
Yeah, he's up 700 gold right now.
Now, I'd really like to see Chuggus Karen go GLP here. If he goes Ludens, it's... Okay, I can't say win trade, but I just think it's very suboptimal to go Ludens in this matchup. Because I think one of the things that can help with your scaling is if your Wukong can actually just run at the Aphelios, because GLP has 9 million range, but Tarded is actually getting caught out. He does have the fancy feet, but it doesn't help him avoid the passive and melee range. Banks flashes forward and I voice crack, but Tarded gets out alive, just burning the flash.
I don't know how I feel about that flash when he had ult up.
I
That's kind
think
of
maybe he's just
Unless they're
really
trying to
being a
make a
team
play.
player.
yeah.
I'd imagine that's
Unless
the
he
case.
wants to make a play like right now, but if he's not gonna TP bot in the next 20 seconds, he's probably trolling.
I agree. I'd say within the next minute and a half, though, I'd give more leniency towards that.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Tying
You're
it.
looking at
But
the dragon timer.
I also
it is
think
the
it
next
is
minute.
soon that, yeah, and I think it is soon that Mordekaiser will probably just dive him regardless, and maybe he can use his ult then. But I do agree that maybe only because of the dragon coming up. I'm actually not too sure what Malphite's ult cooldown is at this time. The next time it pans over, I'll check.
Pretty long.
But I believe it's over.
130
It's 130.
seconds.
Yeah, 130.
Yeah, so if their plan is like, hey, we're going to get this dragon, like Tardid's going to ult for it, whatever, and they're okay with the fact that Tardid's probably going to die after they ult,
Oh, and
then it's
Oriana's
fine.
getting
Evo
caught out.
flashes on
There
the Chibi
goes
Dragon though,
Chibi
and she's
Drag.
dead. And Example's coming in to try to clutch it out though. Tokalife is falling short, but Braum hops in. Senna's following up. Wukong getting the 2 ults, being nice and broken. It looks like he will pick up the kill. He does. Leernox may just be next. He's getting picked. Chungus Karen does ult. He just ticks down from the Ignite and the Electrocute procs. The Nub's now caught up, but Banks has got his back. Chungus Karen on the other side. Evo is actually going to go in on him. But Example's saying, I got your back, man. Don't worry. And it looks like they're just going to back up, handshake, take what they got. And overall, 2 for 1 advantage to Bill Withers, and they are set up for this dragon. Like we said, Malphite has ult and TP. He can TP down if he has to. I don't know why they're not starting the dragon. I guess they don't want to 50-50 it. It looks like Example's trying to go in on Evo first, but they're just dancing around. And I'm not sure how beneficial this is because now GZG's up again, and they took too much time.
I think this is fine. I think this is safe enough. They have enough zoning and they have enough to burn it down before it gets in. And the Malphite can always ult in. Yep.
Well, Malphite wasn't there is my only problem with that. I think if GZG was a little bit quicker, that could have gone very awry for them. And Braum actually getting caught out, though. The Shockwave from Orianna comes out. Leernox does almost fall down, but the Guardian proc with the heal coming out from the Nub. The Nub ulting, the Nub on Aphelios.
Going in.
Tokalife going in, trying to get a pick. Doesn't quite dish out any damage. Tarded there for backup, saying, I got you, Orianna, don't worry. And again, it's just another handshake. But convincing performance so far from Bill Withers.
It'll be interesting to see how they carry forward from here with this 2 Drake lead and 500 or 300 gold lead.
I think they are in a position to win right now, but Tokalife is very aggressive against this Orianna. Maybe could have picked up a kill there,
Yeah,
but
He's
Chibi
actually,
Dragon's
like,
smart enough to back off.
impressively strong.
Chibi Dragon still had his flash up. I don't think Tokalife could have gotten the kill.
Well, you can't flash an auto attack.
You
If-
can if it's
if he's
Kalista and you
doing-
flash into the bush.
If
But
he's
he's
doing
not
that
playing
much
Kalista,
damage at
he's
15
playing
minutes,
Corki.
then I think there's going to be a huge problem later on in the game. Because
I
he's
think it
already
depends.
harassing
It
Orianna
depends
so
how he
hard.
positions. Do you remember
Yeah.
our good favorite player, communal favorite player of the LBLCS, Larson, plays for Rogue? He wants Corki
know.
packaged into Schalke's Nexus. I believe it was Schalke. And lost the
Sounds like
ability
a
to
total
go
Chad.
third place. Tarded getting ulted by Banks and falling pretty low, and he's probably going to want to ult, and he does ult away, and that's that. Trade's coming through the bot side, but Aphelios and Braum really bumming down that tier 1 turret. And honestly, Ground Zero Gaming actually have a gold lead right now. So even through all the advantages that Bill Withers have had, just from ability to CS alone and zoning potential, Ground Zero Gaming is destroying the gold graphs. It's 30 CS up in the bot lane and 40 CS up in the top lane.
I'll say very good showing early on from both teams. I don't think this game has been decided one way or the other.
Yeah, it's definitely Bill Withers' favorite as long as they keep on the dragons.
Did they ever change it so Corki can turn off like the giant flashing message on his screen?
No, and fun fact, that just destroys your eyeballs, and sometimes if you're in a fight when it happens, you can't click and you can't see anything, and you lose team fights off
Oh,
of it.
Wukong is going
But
in.
Wukong going in with a shockwave from the Ori. Mordekaiser actually brings him in closer to the Corki.
I think he
So
has
Corki
enough
might just
damage.
fall, but Corki does so much damage, and he actually dies getting shut down by Banksy. Chibi Dragon is next. The Volibear ults, but Chibi Dragon with a nice flash and does get out. Trade's also in the bot lane. Chungus Karen getting caught out by the Braum. The Aphelios ult does come out, but Chungus Karen flashes and dodges. Looks like they are turning for some trade poke, but not much will come.
Yeah,
I
it looks
just-
like Tokalife chowing down on those potions as soon as that started is the only thing that kept him alive there.
He I don't get how he was playing right there with his package message covering his screen that whole time because he teleported in with his package up. A true gamer cannot have his eyesight blocked, is what they say.
I think the Mordekaiser is going to be a big win condition for GZG though.
Yeah.
Although Corki ready to do something cheeky on Dog Hugger whenever they think they got caught. They think the Nub's caught out and they're going for it. And he actually is caught out. He's dying and Corki tanked a lot of damage and the Malphite ult comes out. And that is going to be a 3-for-1 on the side unless Learnox can get out, but I'm not sure he'll be able to. We'll find out.
Oh,
The slow's
Is
coming
that
in.
true?
He smurfs it.
And
He stopwatches. He's doing everything to not die here, but he does fall in the end. 3-for-1. I really liked the attempt from Coke Life there. Try to, you know, cheeky the package, but he took the package the full duration, got like 2 or 3 tower shots, and they did get the Senna, which is nice. Chibi Dragon actually getting flash ulted by the Mordekaiser. Chibi Dragon ults the Mordekaiser away, but it's likely that she will fall. She does stopwatch to get out of it, but I don't think she can do much from there.
oh, he's got
She
back
actually
up.
almost clutches and Senna's back up, and this is actually going to be a trade kill.
man.
And Chibi Dragon slays down Banks with a clutch respawn and heal from Dog Hugger.
Oh, really good on the side of Bill Withers. Oh, and there's still more fighting.
Tarded and Chungus Karen versus Evo and the Nub. I think they just want to get out of here. Aphelios ult comes out and Chungus Karen's actually caught. She doesn't have flash or anything and she falls and Aphelios gets the shutdown gold.
That's really huge for Philios to get that shutdown gold on him.
What's even bigger though is example flashing for 1 and 2. The dragon is up and they're missing a member on the side of Bill Withers, so Ground Zero Gaming actually get to trade this drag back unless they can do something oppressive. But it looks like they are just going to give it over. Maybe a Senna steal with W, but it's not going to happen. Volibear picks
This
it up.
Ward is TPing top to catch this, to catch Chibi Dragon out.
And there's no way that Chibi gets out of this. Yeah, she's dead.
We'll see
but
it.
Got the turret.
Yeah, she's gone. Got the turret. Worthy trade, right?
Was a
Something
valiant
like that.
attempt. Not sure the ult was worth it, but I like that she just stuck to the tower once she saw him and was like, alright, yep, it's over for me.
At a certain point, it's a sunk cost. You might as well get something for it. You're right. She wasn't getting out. Might as well get the tower.
Oh man, this guy using the term sunk cost. Holy cow.
Yeah, we big brains over here. You know what they say? It takes 2 to tango.
Yeah. I never thought I'd hear anyone use that in like a casual conversation or a cast, but
I use that in my job interview.
I'm sure that's a lot more viable than a cast.
Can I just point out, amazing ward line on the side of Ground Zero Gaming. I was going to talk about before how when they got caught up bot lane, they had zero vision on where the side of Bill Withers was. I think they realized that because they have a huge line of ward bisecting the map down the river.
Yeah, it is very,
Yeah.
very nice, actually. Bill Withers' vision is decent as well, but I think they could be way more aggressive with it, with where the position is. But double ult coming out from Example and Tarded, and Nub is caught out. Nub's going down. Learnox would be next, but Braum W gets him away, and looks like they're going to be the siege on mid.
Banks is
That's
still
pretty
farming in the bot
brutal.
lane. I don't know what he's doing down there.
There's probably no reason for him to come, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, I
truthfully, I
suppose
don't
you
think
have enough-
Mordekaiser has much service in a team fight at this point without ultimate or flash, and it's pretty
He has
much just
ultimate.
hold the siege. Yeah, but he doesn't have
Yeah.
flash, so it's very... It's okay for him to be in the sideline.
Yeah, he's grabbing free turrets while they waste their time mid. Solo XP, solo CS, everything.
And we will see Tarded coming down on this Malphite, but because of this wards, they'll be able to see him coming. Yep, backs off.
Do you think in the next 5 minutes Learnox is going to change his wards out for a sweeper?
He should. Will he? Maybe not. We'll see.
We will see.
How long has he had his reward item for? Like a support item?
Probably
long
longer. Let me
He
start.
almost hasn't fully quested, so
He completed the quest at about 12 minutes.
Alright,
so he's
so
at it
it's
for 10
been
minutes.
10 minutes before, and he still doesn't have red, so I'm gonna give it like another 10.
Another 10, maybe the whole game. We'll see.
It also
Or
doesn't have any
maybe
space for pink wards either. Usually, if you keep it, you at least have pinks.
Yeah,
well,
he's
there's
sitting
never
on
a
the
reason to keep your yellow ward as a support though. Like you have 3, right?
Yeah,
And you can only have
almost
3 out
4
at a
now.
time. And I think the
Like, for
advantage of getting
me-
a bonus ward if they're clearing vision doesn't outweigh the
Yeah.
cost of losing the ability to deny vision yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, even though Bill Withers seems to be coming out on top in all these fights and having the dragon advantage, once again this gold is dead even at 36.2k for both teams.
I'm really not a fan of how the Syndra built for.
Yeah, just
I
going Luden
think,
straight into
I think going
Rabadon.
GLP into Morello is just so good here. Evo slightly getting caught out, but not much happens of it. Looks like they're just backing up. Really weird sound bug interaction between the Senna and the Syndra. Just going,
Oh,
but I guess that's how it
Yeah.
is. Evo
we
getting
go.
caught out again, and it looks like he
He's
will
just-
get chunked down. He does die.
He's just
Example
face-checking every
uses his
push.
ultimate. I'm not sure that was a requirement. And it looks like they're going to try to force Baron, but I don't see them having good enough DPS to do it. But maybe... Actually, it's not that bad. We'll see if they can chunk it down uncontested.
the only one in the area is the Braum. We're going to see the Braum steal here?
Yeah.
Ah, but Corki is coming in
They do
fast
steal.
package.
Yeah, and Aphelios is coming as well, so this could be a fight. And Banks is still pushing bot, which is something they need to keep in mind. Although Evo is
I think
dead,
they just
so
need
as
to go
long
for
as
it.
Example can smite, it's not going to be too much of a big deal for them.
And it's a great Braum ulti.
Yeah, and it looks like they are committing to the Baron. Orianna ult does get Lyrianox back. Example actually went in on them. Senna ulting, and huge ult from Tarded. Nub
And
goes
they-
down,
It's
and they're
package,
just
he
going
needs
to
to
go back
drop
on
it.
Baron.
He needs to go.
The Baron
Oh,
didn't
he
go
waited
aggro.
too long.
And Example actually missed smite, but Chibi Dragon did get the dragon, so it still goes over to Bill Withers.
Oh, but here comes a volley. Trying to play cleanup.
Dog Hugger taking the shields that he can get, and they almost pop down Evo.
Oh, Chibi
Or
I'm
Dragon.
Dragon
trying
back
to,
ulti
I'm
on the
trying to stop
backside.
back right now for Banks.
Syndra
Banks
is
is
back.
still pushing.
Example going in
Ooh,
on
but
Toke Life. He
Toke
picks
goes
up Toke
down.
Life, and Evo's going to go down as well.
Oh!
And they pick up everybody. Banks, though, destroying everything in the path. He's actually past the inhibitor. Never mind, he didn't destroy anything. Either way, though, he's in a tricky position for not having flash.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make it out of this one, but he got a lot of gold and XP from that.
Probably going to run straight to Dragon. Really good plays. I was really worried that they get split up because they're trying to keep the Baron from resetting, but then Ground Zero Gaming definitely made a valiant attempt at stopping that.
They should
Yeah.
definitely just force the dragon here, and it looks like that is what they're doing. With Mordekaiser dead, and ults returning very quickly for the side of Bill Withers, with Shockwave being up and Malphite ult almost up, I would be confident enough to go for the dragon.
I will say, you were saying before that you didn't like the way this Syndra and Chungus Karen was building. I disagree. I think that the way that they have been getting ahead and staying in this game is they know their win condition has been getting picks, and they want to be able to get those picks as quick as possible before the Ground Zero Gaming can respond.
Exactly,
pretty
but that's why I say go. GLP is higher active burst than Luden's. It's cheaper, and then you could also go Oblivion Orb for flat magic penetration to deal true damage to Aphelios, who has 0 MR. Going Rabadons, it's like you're building extra damage, but it's still getting negated, right? It's still getting negated by however much base magic resist Aphelios has. So just mathematically, it's more cost efficient to go GLP into Oblivion Orb and then get the Rabadons, and you'd be able to get all of those things with the money that he has right now. You would have everything completed.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Aphelios not even taking MR runes because of how much magic damage is coming out. But you're right, yeah, he would be doing actually true damage if he built Oblivion Orb already.
Yeah, so it's like, sure he has tons of AP, and there is a pause coming out, ping issue, so this gives me time. No flame to Chungus Karen, great guy, and he's a good Syndra player. I just disagree with his build path. And it's just like we can look at Luden's, right? Luden's is gains charges upon moving or casting at 100 charges, at 100 charge, damaging spell hit, expends all charge to deal 100 plus percent bonus magic damage, which with his current AP is 42. And I can't actually check because it's paused, but I'm assuming that he has somewhere between, let's see, he has 90 ability power plus 120 ability power. So it's 210 ability power increased by 40%, so at least 325 plus whatever his base AP is, so maybe like just under 400. Senna stack check. Okay, we can do that after the pause. But yeah, he has just
You
under
can click
400
on it on the
AP.
side. You can
Oh, can you?
click on her name on the side. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Oh, she
It's
has 415 AP. With GLP, same burst potential, cheaper, active does 150 plus damage. And then you can go for the Oblivion Orb, which gives you it gives you health also. But it gives you
Yeah.
I think 15, 25 something AP plus the 15, 16 flat magic pen. It's just destructive.
I will say though that the constant movement speed from Ludens is definitely an underrated part of the kit, especially when you're playing an AP carry. You know, if Syndra gets caught out, if Chungus Karen gets caught, he is donezo. You can say, yeah, just position better, but I'd like to err on the side of caution, have a little bit more movement speed.
I'd always just say position better. I think mispositioning is always from arrogance, not.
Well,
from...
yeah, if everyone positions better, we'd all be masters, but
I wouldn't say that. I'm a positioning god, but I never leave my lane, so will I climb? No.
Lane Zelius, that's what I'm talking about. To be fair, a lot of these deaths on the nub have all been mispositions, where he's too far up in front of his support and he's getting ulted really easily.
To give him some credit back, though, they've also been not exactly fair fights.
Yeah.
Biddy does have a point in the chat. Ludens clears the back minions early with 1 Q with Ludens. GLP doesn't. So,
Yeah,
Just,
how
you know, there's
important
pros and
is it
cons on
to
both
auto
sides.
attack?
how important is it to auto attack? Pretty important, but
Well,
it's
yeah,
also important to
it
get
takes
kills early. Just have waves.
what, 1.5 seconds?
Yeah, per minion times that 3 minions.
All right, I'm tweeting LS right now. Let's see.
And that's you can get, if you get GLP at level 9, you're one-shotting the backline anyways.
Is LS the most viable person to ask about Syndra build, or is there a better
No,
person?
I'd say at Vagar V2.
Vagar V2. Isn't that you?
No, it's not me.
Oh, you're Vigar LOL. Never mind. Vigar V2. Who's this guy?
He was a strategic coach for Fnatic last year.
Alright, so we're approaching 30 minutes into the game. Gold lead is slightly in the favor of Bill Withers. Well, more than slightly, about 4k up. Again, Ground Zero Gaming does have, I don't know. I don't know. What would you say that each team's focus is right now to win the game?
I think Banks needs to pick out somebody nice, actually get the kill, and then Tokelife, if he can just get hits off without getting chunked, if he just positions back until a couple Syndra QEs come out or whatever, he just needs to burst from the back line.
I think if Banks honestly just grabs Malphite, I think they just win team fights. I think that's just so free without Malphite. Like, his ult is so strong right now.
I think the Wukongs might be even stronger though, no? But
I mean,
does not
either one
matter
would
if
work.
Leonox gets caught out, but Braum W and his teammates just always have his back.
The only way I can see Ground Zero Gaming winning this game is if they actually start warding and like sweeping and placing pinks, because you can already see like no pinks in their inventory, and they have 2 on the board, 1 in Riverbush top side, and then 1 over here bot side.
Senna
and
has
one-
75 stacks for the one ADC player in chat wondering how many stacks Senna has.
So this is soul point for Bill Withers. Obviously, both teams are going to be fighting on this dragon. Mordekaiser is coming up on the backside.
Oh, that's huge. Who's he gonna grab? He grabs
He
Syndra.
grabs
Wow.
Chungus Karen, which I think might not be too bad if he can actually get the kill, because Syndra doesn't have anything to deal with it, but she does flash and kite it away. Corki coming in on the package gets really far out of position. Example on the backline actually getting bolted out by the nub. And Corki getting ruined by Tarded, but he does get down Chibi Dragon. And overall advantage to the side of Ground Zero Gaming. It is
This fight's not over yet, though.
2-1 right now, but the fight's
Oh,
not
here
over.
it
Chungus
goes.
Karen gets bursted down by
Helios is too
Helios.
strong.
But Dog Hugger on the back line with Tarded. Tarded's locked up, but maybe he can get a pick. He gets the double kill on to Phelios. Evo is locked up, but it looks like Dog Hugger's actually
it
going to
over?
fall down next. And it looks like it might be over. The Q comes out onto Lyronox, but it's not enough because the Malphite is just a tank. And overall, 4 for 2 side of Ground Zero Gaming. And good for them. Nothing to
was
complain
a
about.
very
They can't
huge
get the
fight.
dragon now.
Because you got to look at the sums used from, well, both sides, but especially Bill Withers. Those flashes are so much more valuable than they are on.
Oh,
Uh,
Tarded.
Tarded actually getting solo killed by Banks and giving away a 700 gold shutdown. And it looks like Example will follow
There we
suit.
go.
And like I said, Banks is the big win condition right now. He is not to be messed with.
All right, really good tempo change on the side of Ground Zero Gaming. Oh, is he going for 3? No, he's going back. Really good tempo change inside of Ground Zero Gaming. It looked like that could have been the end for them if Bill Withers was able to fight a little bit better in position, a little better around that dragon. But not only did they get basically an ace, they got the dragon and elongated this game out.
Yep, very
Yeah.
good by them, very good for them. And if they can actually just like find a way to clutch this next drag. Banks the raid boss. I agree. Mordekaiser is like a level 135 WoW boss right now.
If he gets Cloud Soul, he's actually going to be so unbelievably strong.
Honestly, even if they get a third Cloud Drake, he's already going to be strong enough.
Yeah.
Looks like Chungus Karen did wise up and get stopwatch. Oh, but they're
Example going
trying
right
to
in on
fight.
Evo though, and Evo just ults away, and it looks like he will stop him from hitting the blast plant temporarily, but the shockwave actually brings him to an advantaged position to flash away. Tarded and Banks having a wet noodle fight in the mid lane, but then Banks, you know, pulls out his little trick. And then Banks actually going in on the entirety of Bill Withers, but nice Zonius from Chungus Karen. Actually, the stopwatch. Will Banks get caught? It looks like not quite, and he still has his passive active, so he's going to be dealing damage, and Example is going to fall down. Example dies to Evo, but the nub is caught out, and the nub does fall. And then huge ult from Tarded. Chungus Karen gets Lyronox. Chungus Karen, it looks like he might get Banks as well. Banks is still bursting down. Banks does fall, but he falls to Chibi Dragon. It's just Toke Life and Evo down. Evo's one. Dog Hugger's going to pick him up. It looks like he's going to pick
Toke
Toke
Life's gonna
Life
go
too
down here.
because the Q lands. He does get it. Double kill over, and Bill Withers might just look for an end. The death timers are pretty damn long.
In that fight, at 3 different times, I thought, oh, Ground Zero got it. Nope, Bill Withers got it. Nope, Ground Zero got it. And in the end, Bill Withers got it.
That positioning from the nub was just so questionable for that fight.
I
Being
think
so
it was.
split from his team.
I think that was a communication issue. I don't think that Banks really communicated with his team that he was trying to go in there. Otherwise, because it didn't seem like they were set up for that at all.
Bot lane
Oh.
for Ground Zero Gaming is up right now. They could make a hero play. It looks like they're gonna
See
try
it,
to,
no.
but the nub just,
Braum is hiding behind his
the
ADC.
nub just gets destroyed. Ult comes out from Tarded. Lyronox doesn't go down, but that is game 1 going over to Bill Withers Toyota dealership.
Wow.
Amazing.
That was a video game. And allow us, team, to take a quick look at the damage charts.
Don't think clear was the move.
So, damage leaders being Banks on the Mordekaiser at 25k, followed by Chibi Dragon on the Orianna at 22k. Followed third place, Corki, 21,000. And then surprisingly, Tarded on the Malphite at 19.
We'll say when you have a wet noodle fights going on that long, you're bound to be stacking up the damage.
Oh yeah, they were It was every time I looked over top lane, they were just whacking at each other, and
Yeah,
that's
they were mashing it up there.
these damage charts are just like the nub just not getting enough damage out. Example, he wasn't pulling that much either, also, but
Yeah, it'd be
Alright.
really interesting to see how these teams draft going into the second game. I think
Yeah.
that, like I said before, Bill Withers had a team that was a little bit easier to execute. It did look like they faltered at some points, and obviously the CSing on Ground Zero Gaming kept them in the game a lot longer than if they were, not keeping up in that way. But I don't think that they can run this comp again.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see in the chat. Are we going to be taking a short break in between? Most teams opt to take like a 5-minute break in between games.
Yeah, we'll allow them some time to take a quick break.
Oh, we'll allow. We're the ones setting the rules.
Yes, sir.
I'm actually gonna call it there because I scrim in 15 minutes.
No worries. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Godspeed.
Thank you. Good luck on your casting. Your guys' voice sounds amazing right now.
Thanks, man. So does
Thank you. I
yours.
moisturize it.
Thank you. You guys have a good one. Good night, everyone on the stream.
All right. So in this lull, we will be taking questions from the chat, or also just talking out any comments. So let us know what you thought about that first game. What are you looking forward in the second game? What's your favorite kind of shrimp to eat? I want to hear it all.
You know, I'm a big fan of all kinds of shrimp.
That's the only right answer. I applaud you, good sir.
Honestly, there's some like not so good shrimps, but nothing that's like not enjoyable.
Get out. No, all shrimps are amazing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but there's like just like breaded jumbo shrimp compared to like fried shrimp in like garlic butter or like firecracker shrimp is just, you know.
Say Dark Lork says Buggleberry Finn is Faker in disguise. Actually, Faker is Buggleberry Finn in disguise. You were almost right there. Good comment though.
All right, we are on pro draft.
Would you like to reinvite me, please?
I can in fact reinvite you. Mr. Prezi, you are reinvited, but it looks like the invite is actually not going through. So I'll ask somebody
Try it again.
to invite you because my client is not working because that's what happens when you code your stuff in Adobe Air.
It's a small ended company. Actually,
Correct.
little known fact, Riot is scrambling because their entire game is coded in Flash Player. So they're doing their best.
Truthfully, that's not far off. They coded it in like some like 2007 thing of like C++.
Yep.
And to actually update the infrastructure would just cost more money than like actually just making a new game.
Well, someone's got to get Mr. Tencent on the phone. Nicholas says all shrimp is good shrimps. Good man. I appreciate that. All right, looks like everyone is loaded in. We'll see if they'll be starting up the pro draft shortly. Obviously, Bill Withers now going over to red side, and Ground Zero Gaming getting the first pick on blue side. So, how do you think these teams are going to adapt? What do you think Ground Zero Gaming needs to do in order to, at least 1-1? Because this is, like I said before, this is very important for playoff seeding. Actually,
Well, I think Bill Withers has I can't speak English, sorry, but I think they're in playoffs now.
very confused just because the current standings is not updated. But did Bill Withers play Joe Exotic's ex-husbands last
They
week?
play
Because they're
no,
both sitting at
they play them tomorrow.
really?
Yes,
I
far as I'm aware.
so how is some teams play early and some backed up? Because how can some teams be at 7 games and there's a team still
Yes,
fifth
there's a
game?
couple of teams that are a bit lagged behind due to scheduling problems.
Ah, okay, that explains it. I was just thinking that the client or the standings wasn't updated, but interesting. So actually, then I don't think that means that Bill Withers is in the playoffs yet. If this is only their week 6 game, or technically their week 7, but they haven't played week 6.
Yes, correct. So it looks like their Ground Zero Gaming's adaptation to draft is banning out the Malphite Wukong, saying, "All right, look, we acknowledge you can press R. We don't want you to press R."
I don't think that's a bad choice. Force them to play something different. Because this could be something that they were practicing all week. I mean, obviously it's not champs that were hard to practice, but force them to pick some different things that maybe they're not comfortable. Oh, the Umi, gross. Ban the Yumi. We need a restart. All right, so they used their first pick on the Yumi, which I guess is good, but I just feel bad about it. How is Bill Withers going to respond with a Kled? The Kled super strong on Tarted over here. And let's see what the second pick will be. They're really taking their time here.
Clyde, he's actually a Kled main, so
Yep.
I'm excited to see some dirty action in the top lane.
Oh no, it's gonna be real fun.
He is very, very strong.
And the Trundle too.
Strong player.
All right, so Bill Withers is going for the I want to run at you and whack you team comp, which is a little bit different from their I want to run at you and press R team comp. So I'd expect to see some form of disengage over on the side of Ground Zero Gaming. I mean, they already have the Yumi picked. Ezreal is a very good pick here. He's a very safe ADC to get out. He's still really strong in the landing phase, but I love the Ezreal pick here. And then the Shen too, another good pick in response to Bill Withers. But you got to worry about Ground Zero Gaming. Like if all their picks are just in response to what Bill Withers is picking and wanting to do, and they don't have a cohesive idea of what they themselves want to do as a team and what objectives they want to push and how they want to play the game, that can be kind of tough to formulate on the fly.
Yeah. Ezreal Yumi, Shen is a really good core. And I think overall it's better than what Bill Withers is currently drafting. But with that being said, I also am good friends with Tarded and have seen his Kled. So although it is definitely biased, I could see a world where Bill Withers still win.
Yeah, and looks like we're seeing some more revenge bans coming out. Bill Withers getting the Volibear off the table, and Ground Zero Gaming getting the Orianna off the table. So we could see an entirely new comp.
Oops. Sorry about that.
Whoa.
I'm currently closing tabs while trying to manage the stream. I apologize.
And then the Vi ban 2 on the side of Bill Withers, and we'll see what the final ban from GZG is. Oh, Jesus.
Syndra being the final ban.
All right, so Bill Withers still needs a mid lane and an ADC. I don't know what else Chibi Dragon plays mid, but for ADC, they're going to lock in Jinx. Really good to scale into the late game. I think it bodes well with their team, but they are looking very AD heavy right now, so I'm expecting a really strong AP carry for the final pick on the side of Bill Withers. And then the Ornn, just a strong pick in general. It's going to be sad when he gets gutted. Actually, just kidding. I'm going to love when he gets gutted. I hate Ornn as a champion. Like, give him some mana costs. Come on.
You know, I don't think that Ornn is gonna get gutted.
No.
Like, I don't think you
What?
can gut champions like that. I think
Nah.
even if you completely got rid of his passive, he'd still be.
So here's the thing. I don't think his passive is the problem. I am just more frustrated with the fact that he is a champion that can, is very tanky, obviously, can spam abilities in lane, though. And then it's almost impossible to run out of mana as Ornn, unless you're, like, trying to. But we do see these comps fully balanced out. The Corki going back on the side of GZG, and then the Victor mid. So still a very strong pick. Definitely has some zoning potential. Not exactly the pick I would have expected just with the way that they were drafting, but we'll have to see how it goes.
You're scared. Good to know.
I am forsaken.
Overall, though, I think the Victor's a pretty solid pick to round out Bill Withers' team comp. But I think Ground Zero Gaming's comp is just so much better. I really think my edge is on them. And I think my only personal counter is, again, I think if Tarded pops off, or maybe if the Victor snowballs against the Corki somehow, then sure. But failing that, I'm really, really rooting for Ground Zero Gaming's comp this.
So here's the thing with GZG. You have the Yuumi, which is obviously a very strong pick, but that essentially reduces you down to four bodies in a team fight. And then you have two ADCs, and you have two big, strong front lines. GZG has to be very careful of their positioning. I mean, obviously Corki and Ezreal both have a way to, get out and to kite back a little. But, Trundle and Kled, and especially with CC coming through from the Victor, then Jinx and the Nami, they have ways that say, all right, you can get back once. You can maybe get back twice if you still have flash up. We're still going to come at you. Kled ult does not stop for a flash. So it's
That's
going to come
true.
down to positioning for GZG.
But, I mean, Shen Ornn is a front line. Corki, Ezreal, both fantastic with Yuumi.
Mm-hmm. Droxus, thank you so much for the sub. See you at next Wendy's meeting, shareholder.
Thank you so much, Droxer. You're on a 2-month streak. I appreciate it. Buggle appreciates it.
Said Hot Monkey. The Wukong was banned this match, unfortunately. He was played last game, though. I don't know if you catch the last game.
Evo says this one's for Drox.
I want my coin badge.
Well, unfortunately, you got a founder badge instead.
We can't afford coin badges. Can we do a button badge instead?
Oh no, we can afford coin badges. We have coin badges, but unfortunately, people who have been subscribed for since the beginning and were among the first to subscribe can't get the special badges because they get a founder's badge, which is the first icon you see left of someone you don't know.
Haha, you're first. First is worst. Just kidding, someone you don't know. We love you here.
Funnily enough, though, the first badge is to the first 10 subs.
Cries.
Also, if you guys want to take a look at my True Damage Echo background, it's animated. It's pretty nice, I think. You guys enjoy that?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. All right. I think we need to get some copy pastas in this chat. This game has been distinctly lacking copy pastas. I messaged Bugleberry Finn a few days ago to specifically make a page in the LBLCS for copy pastas so that way you can save them for the future. Do you know if any of these players have copy pastas already?
Say again, sorry.
Do you know if any of these players have copy pastas yet?
Within this specific game, I don't believe so.
All right. All right, come on, chat. We have 31 people here watching. You just watched the first game. I want to see some tasty pasta. I'm hungry.
Yeah, a lot of teams that don't have a very vocal personality don't tend to get the copy pastas written about them. But I think for such a hype matchup, pretty good drafting overall here.
Yeah.
I think you can shit host at least one for us.
And we saw the upset from Bill Withers in the first game. So we really, this is an important game. This is the last game of the regular season. Well, apparently not for Bill Withers because of some scheduling conflicts, but last game of the regular season for GZG.
This is true.
Clutch FG says it takes 2 to tango. Godspeed.
Well, it's not true. You only
Explain
need
yourself.
one and a mirror.
I don't know if that's right.
No, you can trust me. How else do you
I-
practice tangoing? Bill
With-
Withers won game
with
1.
two.
They came out on top.
Yeah, Bill Withers come out
So-
game 1.
I believe
say I
that
was
means
the
they made
only
it into
one calling.
playoffs, right? Or do they need to 2-0 for playoffs?
It's very confusing because they haven't played technically their 6-week game,
Yeah.
which is against the team who is on the bottom of the ranking right now. So it's a very good way for them to pick up points or to lose points. Well, not lose points, but All right, let's do a quick skin review while we're loading in.
Wait, more
Oh
importantly,
God, load
Ev
time.
Dingus is fantastic. Just needs to work on communication, map awareness, farming, laning, vision control, farming, poking, landing skill shots, objective control, early game, farming, mid game, late game, ganking, and getting kills.
What about farming?
Farming was included there, unfortunately for Evan.
No, is included twice.
Oh,
3
really?
times. 3 times is included. That's a big
Well,
shot.
That's
Big
just how
oof.
bad. That's just how bad it is.
All right, looking like standard starts. I would say I want to see. Oh, getting the ward, but example might be going in. He's gonna back out.
We'll fix this up a bit. We'll get back to speed.
It's a shame. I was really hoping for some tasty level 1s. We almost saw one last game with that positioning, but it's a little bit of trading going on in the mid lane, just flexing their muscles. All right, so we talked about our picks last game. This game's just starting off. Who's your pick? Who do you think's gonna win? What's their win condition?
I gotta say, Ground Zero Gaming. I think I think the win condition for Bill Withers is if Tarded or Chibi Dragon Snowball. But aside from that, I just think that Yuumi with both Ezreal and Corki, and with such a big front line like the Shen, Ornn, I just don't see a world where they don't just hyper scale it like 20 minutes.
So I will say this is probably going to be a little bit tougher game for Bill Withers. I'm still choosing Bill Withers to come out on top. I was the only one of the casters that believe in them last game. I believe in them still. Like I said, with the Yuumi being a very strong pick and obviously having some very powerful people in the Corki and the Ezreal, it's going to be a little tougher for them. But if they're able to get, at least stay even in the early and mid game, hopefully get some dragons, they will be able to snowball this and have better positioning around fights. They'll be able to get this. So my money's on Bill Withers. I'm going to say they're going to win in 38 minutes.
Very early skirmish coming out here between Example, Tarded, Chibi Dragon, Toke Life, Evo, and Banks. And Banks actually flashing away because he's really low. Tarded flashes over the wall. Will he pick up the kill? It looks like he just might. If he lands this Q here, Banks should be dead. He does land the Q and he is tanking the tower. And will he get the kill? My game actually froze because the League client sucks. But first blood
He
going
got the
over to
game,
Tarded on the
And
Kled.
he's going.
But Toke Life
the
takes it back on
one.
Example. Will Chibi Dragon be able to pick anything back up? It does pan away because it doesn't look like much action is going to happen. But it looks like Tarded
Always
is
back
actually
and
going to
forth.
get caught out by the Corki. But does the back go off? It looks like it might.
No.
Oh, it gets canceled and Tarded does go down, but Banks actually snipes the kill. And Chibi Dragon trading him back, saying, alright, look, you may have traded back the kill on the top laner, but you're going to pay for it. Q
That's
comes
a
up from
little-
Dog Hugger, doesn't quite hit.
Little risky business on Tarded. Otherwise, a really good early game going over for GZG.
Yeah, two.
Okay, wait,
two
no.
for one overall. Corki with an early kill is just making the process quicker.
Yeah.
Although, Kled did get first blood, and I did say he was going to be a win condition.
Mhm.
But we'll see how it plays out. Chibi Dragon still chilling in the bush. Up top side, fighting with Shen, trading, poking around. Being a nuisance, like every good Victor player should.
Alright, bot lane is looking surprisingly passive. Oh. Just right as I said, a little bit of skirmishing going on. Oh, there's a freeze too. Alright, first dragon will be Cloud Drake, and Scuttle Control is decisively on the side of Bill Withers. So we'll see if that's something that they want to push for this game. I don't know how much that they want to be focusing the dragon this game. I think they just want to focus on getting ahead in their lanes and then picking team fights, you know, and getting picks. I don't know how
Well-
much dragons really work for their.
I get heckled for this every time because I say it so much. But the team that gets first dragon has a 67% win rate overall across League of Legends.
Mhm.
Not in NA, not in X Elo, not in just in general. Across League of Legends, the team that gets first dragon has a 67% win rate. So with that being said, I think that it's instantly a win condition. It's automatically a point of interest.
I think you're saying team gets first dragon, just the other team should surrender right there. It's over.
I mean, again, 67% isn't 100. But
Yeah.
the reason that stat's so high is because typically if you get the first dragon, you're bound to get the next three, or at least you have the quicker time to reach soul.
Mhm.
So you automatically get the advantage. I think after some soul nerfs though, I think that might have went down to 63%. But like if you think about how far above 60 that is, like think about the fact that champions in league get nerfed if they're at a 53 or 54% win rate, right?
Mhm.
So now let's think about that in relativity to the power of first drag.
Mhm.
And again, if they get soul, it goes up to like 80 something. I think it's 84, 86.
Yep.
So first drag leads to a faster soul. The stats don't lie. But
Ah.
with nothing happening like how it is going right now, it's GZG favorite all the way.
Well, there's only two types of statistics: lies and damn lies.
What about the accurate ones? Carta doesn't get Kled back. He actually, or Scarl, sorry, he gets solo killed by Banks. And that's gotta hurt the mental. Example coming out with the Trundle Pillar, but it doesn't knock Corki up, so he just kind of walks away. And not much to come of that.
Evo walking on a pink, didn't clear it. Was he just looking to just run back mid?
You know, I sniff a pretty boring game, if I'm truthful. The Ezreal may have Ignite, but don't let it deceive you.
Mhm. So here's the thing. I think it's going to be boring. You know, it's boring right now, but we're having big sixes coming on. If Tarded stays on his top lane island, yeah, it's going to be a boring game. If you know, Bill Withers is able to open up the map a little bit and choose some objectives they want to fight around, and Tarded joins them with that Cliddle, I don't think this game's going to be boring at all.
Yeah, I saw a couple of tweets and posts in different places. Most notably one from I Will Dominate, and he said that every challenger game was Soul Mario Gap. And for those of you who don't know, Soul Mario is a challenger Kled one trick who has, I think it's like 4 to 6 accounts, all in challenger. And what he does is he plays Kled in lane till he's level 6, and then he doesn't go top lane very often after that. He shoves and roams. He's like a Talon mid, but on Kled. And he's just makes his presence known everywhere. But Tarded actually... Oh, he's not getting ganks, for example, setting up vision control for him. But yeah, I think if Tarded just roams and Soul Mario styles it, there's a good chance of success.
I'll say always a big fan of any playstyle that sort of breaks the meta, especially if it works out in your favor. Let me tell you a quick story about a River Shen. So way back in season, probably 3 or 4, me and my friends used to play together, and one of the things we would run consistently is a little champion called River Shen. Now what you do is you'd lock in Shen in place of a jungle, and you would exclusively roam the river. You'd get Scuttle. You'd maybe vary a little bit to get a camp, like Raptors, or I think back then they were Wraiths or whatever. But you would just go up and down. You would be able to gank lane, get Scuttle, gank lane, try again. And honestly, it worked out more often than you'd expect. So if this Kled is able to leave his top lane island, obviously you don't want to leave the Ornn there for too long. He's able to help his team out. I do think that can really help inside of Bill Withers. But I am disappointed they did not lock in the River Shen.
Well, he's been in the river at least.
No, but see, he's on dry land now. You can't do that.
Maybe he's evolved. His name is Evo. Evo is short for evolution.
Oh, they're gonna meet each other. I love when 2 junglers just meet each other and they're both like, nah, I'd rather not.
He's backing away, but Tokelife is walking down. But Evo's actually caught out. Flash E's, and it's actually Example that's caught out now. He does have to flash because the Nub and Lyronox walk up, and looks like they will just walk up. Banks actually Ornn ulting and not really accomplishing anything with it, but Example is low, so they can go for the dragon now, and Banks gonna do some cheeky little trading with Chibi Dragon, showing
Example will be able
him
to...
who the true battle mage, assassin, knight, robot, meta slave, tank, fighter, ADC, Apache helicopter can really do.
Love it. Really good positioning on the side of GZG. They understood that if they're able to get some chunk damage, they didn't have to kill Example. They just had to back him off enough, and then they knew they had enough damage between the Corki, the Ezreal, the Yuumi, and the Shen to take that first dragon. So we'll see if your hypothesis holds true. First dragon going over to GZG. Statistically, they have, what, the 67% chance to win?
And I think they just win it from the comp as well.
Alright, getting some first backs, getting some items coming out. Manamune on Tokelife on the Corki mid's gonna start stacking. Obviously, Banks on this Ornn does not need to back, because Riot loves trying out new things. We're seeing a gank top lane here from Tokelife. Banks going in. Example is getting really low, but I don't know how much they're... Oh, Ezreal coming in. There it is. Good job from GZG. So they're able to get Example in the top lane. They're going to push in and get some plates on this top side turret. Say, I don't know necessarily about that Corki back. I think you had Prio on Rift that you probably should have just stayed and gone for that.
Again, though, just big leads all around for GZG right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing well. You're right. We said if they were able to execute their comp, then they'd have really good pressure in the early game and really good pressure on objectives. Obviously, the global ult from GZG isn't something that we talked about, but that actually is a huge factor. Boasting some teleport coming in. Here comes the Corki, chasing down Jinx. Don't think it's going to be enough to get Chungus Karen down, but I might have spoken a little too soon. One more Oh, and there it is. Able to take down Chungus Karen on the Jinx. All right, and once again, backing. Nope, he's gonna stay and get some. I don't know. I don't know, Toke Life. What do you want to do? You want to stay? You want to get some hits on this turret?
I think Toke Life, the 202 Corki, can do what he wants.
I think he can. Doesn't mean he should. I mean, Bill Withers is responding by getting this rift right now. I think Ornn is pinging it out. He knows what's going on. Will he be able to stop it or potentially get a steal? Ezreal comes in. Oh, who got it? Example got it. Okay. A good flash from Banks. He's trying to re-engage because he knows Toke Life is right here on this Corki. Kled is going to ult to try and get out. Toke Life is chasing him. I think Tarded. Oh, I don't know. I think that must have been a misclick to go back in because he's going down. Example also getting caught out. Evo here with a Yuumi. All right, GZG's really opening this up early on. 13 minutes in to go 7-1. This is a little bit of a reversal from last game though. 7-1, but gold lead is only 1K for GZG. And looks like this is bottom turret going over on the side of Bill Withers, so that will be first turret. Oh, but looks like they're gonna collapse on. Here comes the Yuumi, here comes Toke Life. This is gonna be a very hectic fight. Yumi's gonna ult in, catch both of them in their stun. Oh, good Nami bubble's gonna catch the Yuumi.
That's actually
Yumi's
insane.
gonna go down. And there goes
Okay.
the Corki, and there's one more left in the Ezreal, and they all go down. Amazing
That
play
is
from Bill
actually
Withers.
huge for Bill Withers. And Tarded taking a good trade on the top side as well.
Yep. So that's one thing about Yuumi is like, yeah, if you're out, you know, if you get any sort of CC, you are done, and then you are useless. You're just free gold. I don't know if she was out of mana there. Oh no, she's running back to lane. That's why she was out. All right, so Bill Withers responding to the early aggression from GZG, picking up 3 kills on the bot side. Mountain Drake is spawning in 3 minutes, and they're pinging it out. Looks like Bill Withers is going to go for this right now. I don't think that GZG can contest this.
Banks going for a clutch play on Tarded. I think Tarded's actually, that was a really nice flash, and he just gets out.
So in the course of 2 minutes, Bill Withers got 2 towers, 3 kills, and a dragon. So we're going to see how GZG is going to respond to this. Really good vision also on the side of Bill Withers around this dragon and this river. Looks like they're all going to back and buy. Let's see what items come out.
Man, I'm really excited for when Toke Life gets the Triforce, but Chibi Dragon's actually like, all right, I've had enough of your shit, and he just solo kills him.
Chibi's like, I hear
Good
I'm going to help
lord.
you back a little quicker. Nope, Chibi's out a little far. Yep, he is done for the count. That's all right. We are seeing the early executioners on Chungus Karen. I can't tell you how frustrating it is to see, you know, go up against a Yuumi and then no one on your team is able to buy any sort of heal cutting, or they can. They just choose not to until it's too late. So good on Chungus Karen for that little bit of awareness to make sure that that Yuumi is not as impactful as it could be.
God, that was actually a beautiful play. He paid the price for it, but it was nice.
All right, looks like Tardy just getting some farm here in the bot lane. They do have the mid tower up, so they can't put a mid tower taking down on the side of Bill Withers, so they can't push up too far, especially knowing that Shen is most likely somewhere in here. They actually spot him out with a ward. Well, Example's dropping the Rift top, going to try and get some damage on this Ornn as the rest of the team is collapsing on him. I don't think they'll be able to catch him in time, but the Rift is going to get a little bit of chunk off on this turret. Oh, he dodges
Banks
the bubble,
ulting
but
and
all 4 of them are
top
here.
though,
Banks
and
is going
they're claiming
down.
the shutdown. And that actually goes over to Chungus Karen. And I mean, maybe I was sleeping on Bill Withers' comp because in this mid game here, they're really stepping up the plate.
I think they're really wise with having good vision, knowing how to rotate who they can catch out. They probably had a timer on Evo's ult and knew that Evo couldn't join the fight. So really good on getting that pick, and I think Rift was probably expiring. That's probably why he was just dropping it topside.
And you know, Tarded, he had a bit of an inting early game, but he's making himself useful and he's applying pressure.
Mhm.
And not
Chibi
Hashinshin
Dragon.
style either. And Chibi Dragon is a beast.
Oh, that was
Oh,
almost a
nice
perfect
flash ult from
bubble.
Doghugger, but he just misses it. Ezreal's a little bit of a pain to
Yeah.
deal with, unfortunately, but I can respect the effort there. And Chungus Karen,
seen a
huge
flash
plays.
from Example.
Example
He
flashing
wanted it.
forward, but he just has to walk back.
Life
There's
is
just-
sitting over the wall with a package to see if he goes in. I would not advise it. Yep, he's doing it anyways. Oh, he got two. All right. So I forgot they did just buff the package in the last bat.
Chibi Dragon's huge though. If he can get this, and he is, they go down. Doghugger actually picks up the kill on the Toke Life. It looks like Chibi Dragon's gonna chase over to Learnox, and Learnox doesn't have anywhere to go. So as long as he doesn't get whacked by too many Qs or whatever, the exhaust comes down. But if Victor gets off another Q, he's
Oh, but here's the
good as
Evo,
dead.
here's the
Shen
Shen.
though. And that actually is clutch. Although
Yep.
Doghugger does pick up Learnox, he is gonna pay the price in the end unless he gets a nice Q off. If he gets a Q off here, I think he's fine. Oh, he's actually Smurf. He's so Smurf if he gets out of this.
Ooh.
Oh, no, he
No.
ruined it for himself. If he walked up, I think he had a better chance. But either way, he bought time.
Mhm.
Seaweed Dragon saying, my boy Chibi is OP. And I'm inclined to agree. He's had
Yeah, maybe-
he had that one tilt play where he just traded 1 for 1. It appeared to be out of pure anger, but it worked for sure. And Tarded an example of going for Banks here. Tarded needs to get Scarl back before Banks
dude.
does the control mage
No
assassin.
tower
horn
here.
things.
Ezreal, yep. Looks like he's gonna go for the going for it. I don't know what Example's doing, trying to cut off any sort of counter engage. But it might be a little bit too late.
Does
as
get
the
it, but
threat-
Tarded is gonna fall down. An example as well. So overall, 2 for 1 over little overextension on the Ornn.
Oh.
Unfortunately, at the time of trying to attack the rather tanky Ornn, who is currently only building armor, they were combined 0 and 7,
Mhm.
or 1 and 7, sorry. So obviously not enough gold to really be able
Not
to
ideal.
burn him down in time. But Kled does have TP when he's back up, so if they can buy time,
Mhm.
might not be too bad. But Chibi Dragon and Chungus are actually pretty huge this game, which is nice. And maybe they can defy the odds of the 67% win rate Dragon. And
Well, we'll have to see.
Take it
Looks like
2-0.
either team wants to start this dragon up until the rest of their members are here. Obviously, the Ornn's going to be walking in. He will have teleport up in about a second.
Chibi Dragon with a
Nami
nice
ult
jukes.
comes in.
Nami ult comes out, but it's not going to do too much. And Toke Life just zoning. I do think they have good enough poke, though, that they can just play it slow on the side of Ground Zero Gaming.
Bill Withers knowing that they'll just get poked out, so they start this dragon, but then the immediate intense barrage of poke from GGG.
Thanks,
here.
Ornn ult coming out. It does knock up Doghugger, and it looks like Doghugger will fall down. What she does. An example is pretty low himself. It looks like they are trying to burn down Banks, but it looks like GZG is more concerned
They
about the
got
Dragon.
Banks,
But
they got
Learnox falls
Yuumi.
down too.
Learnox
Chibi
is
Dragon
out,
got a
too.
double kill. It looks like Evo maybe next.
GB flashing
come
forward
out.
for the triple.
Triple
Is he
kill.
gonna go for the
This could be a
quadra?
penta. This could be a penta.
Oh, he's going. He wants it. He knows there's a quadra. It's just
Yeah, you
Toke
should
Life
give the
up.
penta. You should give
roll.
the penta. Oh, that's so sad. Toke Life denies the penta, kills the dream, kills the victor. And
God, really
as crazy
good.
as it was, it came to an abrupt and sad end.
Yep, Bill Withers showing their strength here. Up and there's a little revenge from Tarded, saying, "Hey, give my boy the penta, respect him." And they're starting up the Baron now, knowing that the only one up who's Yuumi. That won't be able to get to it in time, but a little bit. I wouldn't say a little bit dangerous. Example's gonna get low though. But rest of the teams here, this should be a pretty easy Baron to grab. Oh, but here comes the teleport in from Banks on the Ornn. Counter TP coming in.
Tarded staying on the Baron regardless, and I'm not sure that's the play. He is taking up a lot of damage, and he does fall down to Evo.
Oh, Bill Withers just getting routed here. Oh, but Evo with the smite on the Scuttle to stay alive. Oh, but here comes the Quadra. Will we see the Penta?
Does he finally get the Penta?
We're gonna,
He's
we're
gonna get the Penta,
we're
he's
gonna-
gonna get the Penta, he's gonna get the
He got the
Penta!
Penta
Penta kill!
Oh, Pentakill over the Chibi Dragon, the Victor.
So, truthfully, I think Toke Life kind of gave that one over.
He did. He stopped
he-
moving.
He still attacked, but he stopped moving. It was like, okay, I denied it from you once, and like I'm gonna die regardless, so I might as well just give you the Penta. So bit of a homie play from Toke Life, although unfortunately the ace comes out, so now there's nobody to clear the waves.
Oh boy.
But I think that allowing the Penta to happen after denying it the first time is a level of respect that is just honorary.
It's good manners here at the LBLCS.
But just seeing this Victor, seeing Chibi Dragon on the scorelines, just showing you how much he's turned around Bill Withers. Like, Bill Withers is not doing hot before Chibi joined the team. But since joining, I think they have a very positive win record. I'm not sure, though. I think I've kept up with Executive the least, truthfully, out of every league.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I'm aware of, they have more wins with Chibi than without.
We did hype up the return of Chibi Dragon. I'm pretty sure I actually casted that first game that he was back. And obviously, I did not know that he was this good on this Victor. I don't even know if he knew he was this good on this Victor. But he's coming out super strong, and Bill Withers in a really good position to push their advantages to take game 2 and go 2-0 against GZG. Looks like we're seeing a little bit of bush baiting up here on the top. See if they want to do the Baron again. Looks like lanes are shoved on the side of GZG, shoving into Bill Withers, so. Oh, Chibi getting a little Q off on Toke Life. And here comes the Kled ult out, chasing Toke. Nami ult missing. Oh, that was just a failed attempt. It was a good try, though. But Toke Life on this Corki is a little slippery. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna see a 5v5 fight mid. I don't know how this is gonna work out. Looks like Evo is gonna try and get the gank. TV Dog Hugger spotting it out really easily. Evo obviously with his ult up, so he is just gonna go farm the top lane until he's needed. Alright, we are seeing the next dragon coming in a minute. Expecting that's why Bill Withers is pushing up. Getting a little damage on the Banks here. And he's gonna have to flash out.
Chibi Dragon's still on the offensive. The ult following. Ezreal ult comes out. Actually does decent damage.
Yeah.
Chungus Karen poking out Toke Life, and you must have a caster's blessing or something, because in my honest opinion, I genuinely think that Bill Withers' draft sucks. I just don't see how it's working right now. But like you're like, Bill Withers has got this, and they're just doing it.
I told it. It's a very, so like I said, GZG, they are all strong champions that they're playing. Obviously, we know Toke Life is really good in the Corki. Evo has a flash, so there's a lot of ults and going down on side GZG. I think they have to give up this dragon. GZG has a very strong comp or champs individually. They're comped together. Like I said, Yuumi is strong, but it reduces the body. You have two ADCs who don't want to be attacked. They want to stay safe in the back line, so it's going to be harder for them to get an ult. And the dragon going over, Evo going in, but it's going to be too late to do anything as he goes down. I know they still want to fight. They're chasing. Banks with a good knockup, but he's going down, trying to get some damage over the walls. But now, see, like right now, you're back in a position where you have 3 champions up. They do have some wave clear, but there's no front line. Bill Withers just going to shove in. They're probably going to get the inhibitor here.
for sure. And then, oh wait, never mind. That's a ward that I'm looking at. I was gonna say they could rotate top. I thought that was a wave. It's actually just a red trinket. My bad.
So you'd be true Giga Mind if towers attacked red trinkets because they technically have health and you just all place red trinkets to just tank the tower. But fortunately, that's not how it works. All right, they're instantly moving on to this Baron. They know that they still have, some champions downside GZG. They'll have enough DPS just to burn this down. Looks like GZG is coming up just to contest it. I don't think they'll get here in time. It's down to 1,000 health, and it goes over to the side of Bill Withers. They're just smartly going to get out, reset, and spend a lot of their gold. They're up 8,000 gold right now, 28 minutes with 3 dragons. It's going to be good. All right, GZG getting a consolation tower in response, but I don't know how GZG gets out of there. They really have to get a pick on Chibi Dragon or Chungus Karen, but the positioning has been so good on both of them. They haven't been able to get bursted down. I don't know how GZG pulls himself out of this one. They still have
Yumi
some
doesn't
time.
have a champ to be on. Yumi is great on both Corki and Israel. Like, typically, Yumi Corki can just 1v9.
I will say though, the longer this game goes, the more GZG has a chance to come back in, because this orange is just going to be buying items that will be great on all the champions. Obviously, we do see the buffed up Triforce on Corki.
Although, Jim Gio, it does raise a good point that the Shen and the Ornn aren't actually that good for Yumi, which I can see makes more sense, because there isn't really the unkillable front line, it's just the Smurf back line, but they shut down
there
Chibi
goes
Dragon.
Chibi
Tokai
Dragon.
gets a 1,000 gold shutdown.
That can be huge for GZG. They took down the carry, they got all that gold, and then now he is out of the fight for 40 seconds. Evo is down, so it is still 4v4 as Tard is clearing the top side. Orange just has to clear supers in the mid side, so they're trying to get some more pressure on this bottom turret. Once again, see, you're in a position, you have Ezreal and Corki on the bot side. They can clear waves, and they have the Yumi to help keep them healthy, but they can't push out any further for fear of engagement, because they don't have a front line, especially with these Baron up minions. So Jinx is just going to be poking down this turret. This turret will be going down, and they're on the inhibitor. Shen has finally done super minion duty, rejoining his team on the bot side as they're trying to get this Trundle. Stepping up a little forward. He is going to get low, but he's not going to get bursted.
And TP coming in from Chibi, though, to keep up the pressure, and Tarded
Yumi ult is going to catch example. He does have the
he has the stopwatch, so he might be okay. And
That's
ult's
good,
coming in
Yum.
from Victor.
Good.
Shen actually getting locked up by the W, and the Evo does fall.
Evo,
It looks like the nut
Chungus
might
Karen
just be next.
flashing
Chungus Karen
forward.
flashes forward. And Yumi could have been next, but hops onto Toke Life, and he saves the day. But
Yep, this
it
is
looks
gonna be
like
game
this
for Bill Withers.
actually might be a game for Bill Withers. They have a final stand here, but the Nexus is under fire. The Kled gets knocked up, but Chungus Karen is free hitting the Nexus. Banks actually falls down before the game ends, but that is a 2-0 for Bill Withers Toyota dealership.
Amazing games on Bill Withers. I believed in you guys in the beginning. You're right. Like on paper, I do think that GZG had a good game or had good champions the second match. I just told you it came down to positioning how their fights were. These fights were long enough and hectic enough that this Chibi Dragon on this Victor was able to go untouched and continue to deal out the damage, especially with that Leandry's longer team fights getting him more damage. He was able to bring his team on top, and they were able to get the 2-0 against GZG.
True, and great performance overall. Corki really putting in the damage on the side of GZG, and same for Chibi Dragon. 40,000 damage when the second highest in the game was 27 is definitely a killer performance. And if you just look at the stats themselves, he was 15-4. It was his game to win.
That was a gross amount.
Anyways,
I gotta say.
What are you saying about some interviews right now?
I would love to see some interviews. I would love to get Chibi Dragon in here as possible. If not possible, I'll take anybody.
I
I'd love
sent
to
a
hear him,
message to
especially after that pentakill. I'm sure he wants to be talking. And
Mr.
then obviously
Chungus
someone
Karen,
from GZG. Yeah, Chungus Karen. I'll take a Chungus.
but
And someone from
I sent
GZG
him a
too.
message, and we'll see who we can send in for the interview. He's
Yeah.
also thinking of sending Chibi. All right, if Chibi just hops in community, I can drag him up here.
Yep.
Since you know you were the Bill Withers guy from the start, I think it's only fair you get to ask the questions.
All right. Let me see. I just want to pull up the standings real quick. And then the instant update on standings. Love it. Love you, Clutch. All right.
Clutch FG.
So Bill Withers Toyota dealership now at 5 points. There's a 3-way tie for
Oh, it looks like we're actually getting an interview from Example. I'll bring him in here and you can ask him some questions. Hello, Example. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Congratulations on the 2-0.
Well, thank you, thank you.
So
We're quite happy with ourselves.
yeah. Say amazing games for you guys, both games. Both games. I want to say that from the casters, I was your only fan of both games. I knew that you guys were going to come out the first game. Second game, I thought might be a little closer, but you proved me wrong. Chibi Dragon on that Victor. We were so terrified when he only got the quadrant, like, oh, this can't end this way, and then he gets the penta. But on that Trundle and the Kled, you guys had so much ability just to rush them down, even though they had so much disengage. Did you guys know you wanted to draft those champions, or you sort of drafted on the fly?
Yeah, that was so the Kled. I mean, our top laner is a pretty good Kled player. So he really likes Kled. It's his favorite champion. So anytime we get a chance to play Kled, we're going to be playing Kled. I was shocked that they left it open. It's been banned every other game this season.
Yep.
And the Trundle was something that we were thinking about going into the game that we ended up deciding. We had a couple different options, but that was what we went with to help give us some control in the jungle, some good like flexibility on engage, disengage. And I mean, the early game didn't go amazing for us, but I think the picks definitely did what we wanted to do. We were planning on grouping up and fighting, and I think we did that pretty well.
Yeah, I was talking about how that going against this team, like they obviously had very strong champions individually. I just didn't feel like that they had enough of a cohesive team fight to go up against your 5. So that was very good.
Yeah. I think that they probably thought the game was going to be a little bit more chaotic and go a little bit later to where they'd be able to abuse their mobility more. But we just were able to get the fights that we wanted, like in the mid game, and pick fights around neutral objectives and in the jungle. So we were sort of able to dictate the pace, especially since we got dragons rolling like fairly early. We fell behind on one, but having that or Baron as a possible win condition that we can just force them to fight us at definitely gives us an advantage with the champion picks that we had.
I will say, I don't know if any of you were listening to the stream at all during the game, but we talked about how apparently there's a statistic out where the team that gets the first dragon wins about 67% of the games. Obviously, you didn't get that first dragon, yet you still won. How does it feel to prove Zelius wrong?
Well, I feel like that's sort of a case of putting the chicken or egg. Is the team that gets first dragon win because they got first dragon, or did they win because they were just strong enough to fight for it? Like if we're playing a team that has a better, stronger mid game power spike, we might not be able to handle the super early dragon because a lot of the times those come down to just who's in the right position and has their health bars in the right place and has the right lanes pushing to sort of just be able to sneak it for free. When it comes down to team fights post level 6, I think our team definitely has the better team fight there. But obviously them being able to get it early puts us behind a little bit since that's one of our win conditions. But we know that we can come back and get the next one because we have ultimates. So a little bit of maybe of an overvalue on the first 2 dragons. Sometimes I don't really value them that highly as long as, we can fight for the 3rd and 4th. The 1st and 2nd don't really matter.
All right, one more question before we hopefully get someone from GZG in here. So apparently there's like a scheduling discrepancy where you guys haven't played Joe Exotic Ex-Husbands yet?
Yeah, well, so Joe Exotic's ex-husband. This was actually our match for last week. We had a little bit of a conflict with one of our players, so we had to schedule 2 games in 1 week. So our
Mhm.
last game this week is against Joe Exotic's tomorrow. That was Joe Exotic's. Yeah, was our game from last week, and that's a make or break for us. I mean, this is a play-in right here. You know, if
Yep.
if either way it goes, it'll make or break the season for us. So we're hoping to come in tomorrow and play well, get the ball rolling again, and hopefully go into playoffs with a 4-0.
Well, yeah, great showing from you guys over there. Wish you best going against Joe Exotics in your next game. Give Chibi Dragon all of our love and our viewers' love for getting that pentakill after that very frustrating quadra, and good luck at your final game.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right,
All
and
right.
if we want anybody from Ground Zero Gaming to come in, if they would like an interview, feel free to hop in the community in the Discord.
Mhm.
If not, then we will get ready to wrap up the stream. It was a pleasure to cast with you, Prezi.
Yeah,
And
that's
for
really
game one, we had Daisy. Make sure that we thank him as well. Good job analyzing the game, commenting
great.
and bickering with us between.
Great showing from both teams. I'm going to be super excited to see how these playoffs go in all leagues. All leagues matter.
I agree. I'm excited to see the economy playoffs.
Oh, me too.
Some of the teams in economy, like obviously not even from a discriminatory perspective, but it's just lower ranking, right? So the macro isn't quite there.
Mhm.
But some of the things that economy teams come up with is
Yep.
absolutely just it's beautiful to watch when it works.
Yep.
Because
You'll
they will do stuff that is so suboptimal that it just ends up kicking the enemy team's ass, and
Yep.
it's just a beautiful thing to watch, and I enjoy experiencing the games.
No, it's beautiful. Yeah, like I said, playoffs coming up. We got this last week coming through to see final seeding, see who's going to make or break playoffs for every league. Economy League is all set in stone, but this Executive League is still wide open in terms of not some teams of our clinch playoffs, but seeding is going to be really important for these upcoming games. So really looking forward to playoffs this upcoming, and I don't think that any team is really the vast favorite for any league. Every team has shown they're capable of pulling stuff out and beating other teams, so it's going to be great to see those games.
I agree. Um, doesn't quite look like we are getting anybody from Ground Zero Gaming, so I
Mhm.
think I'm going to call it. But again, thank you for casting alongside me. Great games, convincing 2-0 from Bill Withers. I'm excited to see them tomorrow.
Mhm.
And I wish the best of luck to all teams going into playoffs, and let's see what's in store. But for now, I am Zelius, joined by Prezi, and I wish everybody a good night.